create the ministry called Answers in Genesis. The Creation Museum, as we'll go over, was created back in 2007. And the reason that this museum was created was so that it could bring back solid biblical principles to our culture. Ken Ham, who is originally from Australia, saw the demise of Christianity in his hometown or home country of Australia. And he saw churches closing, people going away from the church, and that's because the foundational books of Genesis chapter 1 through 11, from the creation to the dispersion of all people from the Tower of Babel, it was regarded by the secular world as non-historical. Mm-hmm. It was not literal. And as a result, we saw the decline of morality in that country. He foresaw the same thing happening in America, so he wanted to come here to create a ministry to combat that. It was also to give Christians a knowledge of basic scientific, historical, archaeological principles so that you could defend the faith, so that you can answer the basic questions that the secular world has satisfactorily, so that we can win them to Christ. So it was to fight against the secularism that's come into the country, into the world. With that, we started purchasing the tapes, we started studying the apologetics, and we had the opportunity to lead 2 churches to the Creation Museum. And we planned out the trip, so when we found out that this church was interested, we jumped at the opportunity to kind of take the lead, since this is the first time a lot of people are going. So with that, I wanted to start you out first with a Creation Museum promotional video, about 3 minutes, and then we're going to get into some of the grittier details of what we can expect on our trip.
Oh yeah.
So everyone, I wanted to show you that because a lot of people don't realize how big the Creation Museum is. I mean, this place is absolutely huge.
So we're going to see a portion one day and a portion the next day or so?
Oh, you jumping ahead again.
Oh, excuse me.
Slow down.
Excuse me.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. I think this is a good time to bring that up. The way that we're structuring the trip, all right, everything you just saw is the Creation Museum. It's not the Ark Encounter.
Wow.
I have a separate 1-minute video on the Ark Encounter. That was all Creation Museum.
Oh my Lord.
So
So exciting.
The reason, and this is the reason why we're doing what we're doing. So we're going to spend 1 day at the Ark Encounter and 2 days at the Creation Museum. Okay? And I'll tell you, the reason we're doing this, and most people make the mistake of going to the Creation Museum and only scheduling 1 day. There is no way that you can get through everything there, from the outdoor, and we're going to go through this. We're going to go from the outdoor nature walks to all of the videos inside, to all of the exhibits. You're going to go the first day, you're going to be overwhelmed with what you learn. And you're going to be very excited. And what's going to happen is that second day, you're going to go to key areas where you really piqued your interest. And that's where people get lost. So the way that we're planning it, we're going to look at the end of July. We're going to talk about this more. We're probably going to leave on a Wednesday. I say go by charter bus. Again, more details later. Get there Wednesday night, relax, get something to eat, go to bed. We'll have Thursday. We'll go to the Ark Encounter. Friday, Creation Museum. Saturday, Creation Museum. And I just want to say this. When you go to the Creation Museum and you'll see what it's all about, you're not breaking the Sabbath going in on Saturday. Okay, it's a great way to keep the Sabbath. You know? Sunday, we'll get up, have a leisurely breakfast, and then we'll get back on the bus and come home, be back in the evening. Okay, so with that, I wanted to take some time to go through what we just saw because there was a lot packed in there. Like I said before, we took 2 church families there previously, and I used to go every year on my birthday to the Creation Museum because I wanted to always take in this information. I was into apologetics, into being able to defend the Christian faith, to be able to defend the Christian faith. So for years, on my birthday, I would go there, take my family, and spend 2-3 days. And buy the videos, study, bring them home, share them with other people. So we're going to have a chance to do that. Before we actually go on the trip, I'll be introducing some of the apologetics material to our church so that once we get there, you'll be familiar with some of the basics and you can get more out of it. So we got a lot of fun things planned. Question?
Paula.
Question?
How far is that from here?
How far is that from here? Ooh, it's going to be probably about 9-hour bus ride? 500, how many miles?
530 miles.
530
Wow.
What state is it?
It's in Kentucky. Yes. Now, it is a long drive, but here's what I can tell you, all right? It's going to be a very fun ride because we're getting a luxury bus,
Yes.
okay? We'll have television monitors on there, and on those television monitors throughout the trip. First of all, it's a great way to fellowship.
Absolutely.
Bring our own food. But I'll have Creation Museum videos playing all throughout, so you all will get to learn and ask questions while we're on the bus. So we got a lot of fun things planned. We found that with both trips, when we did that, a lot of people ended up learning things and asking questions, and then when they got to the museum, we just turned everybody loose.
Oh yeah.
All right, and then we have, again, I'm getting ahead of myself.
All right,
Let me
slow
just go
down.
through the presentation. All right. So when you go to the Creation Museum, this is what you're greeted with. This is one side of the museum, very beautiful. I did one shot in the daytime and one at night. They have activities at night, sometimes stargazing activities. A lot of things that go on in the museum. A lot of fun. So let's get at this. What is the Creation Museum? Guys, this is a 75,000 square foot facility. This is not including the man-made lake and the outer grounds. We're talking about the building. And this cost $27 million to build. Somebody who was in charge of Universal Studios was hired to create the animatronics and to design this building. It was all raised by private donations. So all state-of-the-art material. So it's on 1.7 acres. That's the land mass. Not the land mass, that's the building. Okay? It's in Petersburg, Kentucky. All right, and what does it do? It is a visual walk through biblical history. Okay? And we're going to go through what that looks like. So what does that mean? You're going to walk through portions of the museum that take you through the creation account. It's called the 7 Seas of History. And we'll get into that. But at each stage, you'll see from creation all the way to the Tower of Babel. And then it deals with the first coming of Christ and then the final consummation. So you're walking through a pictorial of biblical history.
Wow.
On top of that, what they do now, these are creation scientists. So they are showing how science verifies
Amen.
what the Bible says is true.
Amen.
Contrary to what the secular word says, which says that science disproves
Discredits.
the Bible.
That's right.
You got PhD level scientists who are showing you how what the Bible tells you is scientifically verified.
Have mercy.
Historically verified, archaeologically verified, anthropologically verified. So it gets deep. So it brings to life the Bible and answers historical questions through the teachings of the Bible. Number 2, this walk through the significant events from the past, from creation to the first advent of Christ, and shows how Bible history is accurate. Now, it helps us to answer some of the questions that people in the world ask that turn away from God. Why is there suffering in the world? Many people have turned away from God because they can't answer that question. Why are there different races and aren't we all the same? I'm not going to answer that because when you all see the answers, it's going to blow your mind.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
What about the dinosaurs? Did they exist millions of years ago? How can that be if the Bible says the earth is roughly only 6,000 years old? I'll give you a hint on this one. Dinosaurs are in the Bible. They're mentioned. Man walked with dinosaurs. What did God create on day 6? Human beings and all the land.
Animals.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs are just large lizards. They were land animals. Adam and Eve walked with dinosaurs.
Amen.
Have mercy.
That drives the secular world
Crazy.
mad.
Oh yeah. Oh
They're
yeah.
already mad.
That's true.
That's true.
Next, was there really a worldwide flood or only a local flood in ancient times like modern scientists say? Well, if there wasn't a worldwide flood, or if there was a worldwide flood, what does the evidence say? We're going to get to see the evidence. In the museum, you're going to see evidence for the biblical account, the creation account, and then you're going to see evidence for the evolutionary account, and you'll get to make the decision as to which one has the stronger evidence.
Yeah.
So it's totally fair. Unlike in secular institutions, they don't want to put the biblical account because if the evidence was stacked against each other, it would discredit everything they say.
Everything.
So we can feel confident putting their evidence alongside ours and letting you decide. Okay? Does God really exist? What is the meaning of life? Does science discredit or support the events mentioned in the Bible? All of these things are going to be answered when you go to the Creation Museum. So, who created it and why? Again, I mentioned Answers in Genesis. They constructed this in 2007 for $27 million, all private donations, no public funds. That was for the initial building. That was back in 2007. They've added on so many more exhibits, so added many millions to this, all right? So here are some of the truths that AIG, Answers in Genesis, upholds. They uphold a literal Genesis 1 through 11, like we do.
Gracious.
So God's creation of the world in 6 literal 24-hour days, anti-evolution, but biblical. All humanity descends from one set of parents, Adam and Eve, right? And then through the three sons of Noah and their wives.
Yes.
Yes? God's perfect world was marred by the temptation and fall of Adam. Noah's Ark and the great worldwide flood were real historical events that changed the face of the world.
Yes.
And it explains the different weather patterns that we have. It explains the breakup of continents.
Yes.
It explains why there is a Grand Canyon. It explains why, and evolutionists can't answer this question, why you can find fossils which are just petrified bones.
Yes.
Right? Of fish or birds or any other animals, fossils of sea creatures
On top
up
of the mountain.
Grand
Amen.
Canyon.
Amen. Amen.
Then the Tower of Babel, the fusion of languages and the dispersal of humanity across the globe. Yes.
You know, because funds were raised privately,
Yes.
the government can't control this.
That's right. Government can't control. As a matter of fact, when they opened in 2007, when we went to the grand opening, there were protesters out there
Yeah.
protesting the opening of this museum. It was really crazy because of the thousands of secular history museums in this country.
Yeah.
Thousands. Secular institutions in terms of universities. What's being taught in the public schools. Everything is secularized. One creation museum and all the horns came and all the attacks.
Yeah.
And you can understand why, because
It's the
now
only real
God
one.
raised up a ministry
That's
to
right.
bring truth to the people.
Yes.
Millions have come through this museum since its opening. But the secularists were saying it was going to close, it would never succeed,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And here we are 13 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what evidence does the Creation Museum use to support the truth of Genesis 1 through 11? In this museum, guys, get this, you're going to see evidence that fall within these disciplines. History, archaeology, which is the study of human artifacts and remains, astronomy, the study of stars, planets, and the heavenly bodies, the various sciences of biology, chemistry, anatomy, genetics, physics, linguistics, the study of languages and root words, one of my personal favorites. Geology, the study of rock layers, rock strata, the earth, plate or continental plate movement, tectonics. Paleontology, which is the study of fossils, just bones. And oceanography, the study of water and water cycles. All of these disciplines we're going to be introduced to that directly challenge the evolutionary model and uphold scripture.
Wow.
So, the first thing that's going to happen when you walk in, we're going to go into what's called Dinosaur Lobby. And this is where, everyone this is meant to show that humans walked with dinosaurs. So, secularists first coming into this museum in 2007, this drove them nuts. And we enjoyed it too, it drove them nuts. All right? And evidence that humans did walk with dinosaurs, that's my sons Christian and Michael when they were young back in 2007. And this is Noah's Cafe, guys. Some really great food here. I think you all are going to enjoy it. They've expanded this. They got a separate ice cream shop on the side. I mean, this has been totally redone. Fair warning, I've given everyone enough pictures to get a good feel of the place, but I will tell you this. There's so much I had to leave out. I couldn't cover everything, and I don't want to ruin it all. So I'm just going to give you a taste of it. Right? So once you go through Noah's Cafe, so I met Ken Ham, got a chance to talk with him, and got one of his books, and actually a lot of his books I got, his videos, and it was good to be at the grand opening. We were also at the grand opening of the Ark Encounter a few years ago, so got a chance to be at the press release, and it was a great time there. Okay, and in the cafe you have this beautiful mural of Noah's Ark. And when you walk through the cafe, I want to you can go and eat on the outside. Now, all of those chairs are beautiful wooden chairs crafted by the Amish. So a lot of the work that was done in the Creation Museum, and especially the Ark Encounter, the entire Ark was crafted by the Amish. And when I show you pictures, when I show you the pictures of the Ark, they crafted everything all of wood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
No.
craft.
Did they use any nails?
Yeah.
I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
I know they used pegs. I'm sure they probably used nails.
They may not have used
Yeah.
They
nails.
may not have, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But when you come out here, it's beautiful, you
without
eat, and
nails.
then what you're gonna do is, you're going to want to go on a nature walk. So we'll give you a few shots here. So that's looking from the nature trail up at the back of the museum where you can eat out there. All
Uh-huh.
right, so that's right in here. That's what we were just looking at
Uh-huh.
here,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So that's there. And that's Christian Michael walking along the trail. Now, this is an overview of the grounds, right? So you're going nature walks, you're gonna run into dinosaurs hidden in the bushes. Now listen, since we've been back, we just went back last year after about a good, probably 6-7 year hiatus.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea of the size of the plants, let's just say hold out my hand here. One leaf is about this.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's really grown and they've really taken care of the grounds, but you're gonna walk around and see so many different things. So I did this drawing, but now I'm gonna show you how it really looks, okay?
You did the drawing?
No, he
No.
didn't, he just pulled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what you saying, I covered.
Yeah, I have to get my brother to do that, I know. But what you'll find there, I mean, you come down, you have this lake, which extends over about 3 acres.
Okay.
All right. You have several bridges like this, almost like Japanese garden style, and you can walk all through this. I mean, this is only one side. Here's another view from the far end,
Mm-hmm.
looking down. I took a picture from this end, so I'm down here taking it. And then this is something that the kids really love. We used to call it the rickety bridge. So you run on that, bounce, it's wooden and chain, and it makes you jump up and down. You're not supposed to do all crazy.
I'm
but
sure.
we did it anyway.
We did it anyway.
Right. And they know we're gonna do it, so they made it durable.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So you go back and forth on that. Everybody does. All right. Here is another section of the garden, little waterfalls, beautiful, and then another area where there's bridges. Trees turn beautiful colors during the fall. They have many varieties of flowers there and plants, and this was just one area where it was rose bush. And this is a docking area where you can go out, step up there, and then you can look out on the water. All right, they also have a petting zoo and a camel ride, as you saw in the video. A lot of the kids love this. Go in, interact with the animals. They can feed the camel lettuce. Sometimes, you gotta pull the kids away because they'll just stand there and keep handing them lettuce. They can have a camel ride. Those are at certain times. Now, the petting zoo, there's a different, little charge, something like $3 or something like that. Very small fee to go ahead in there. They also have zip lining. So if you like the zip line, you can
No,
go
sir.
across that lake, and I'll tell you,
I'm on the
they
ground
just
now.
added
I'd like
this
to
within
stay.
the last few years.
Wow.
And we saw some people going across that zip line, and I'm gonna tell you, they were moving.
Wow.
And I wanted to do it, it's just that, I had family at the time, but
Yeah, yeah.
listen, this next time, I'm on the zip line.
You hold it to
I
that.
don't know about this. This is, and they also have one at the Ark Encounter that's much higher up.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so once you come from outside, you come back through Dinosaur Lobby, then you start getting into some of the exhibits. So what do you see here? All right, this is a walk through biblical history. So if we look at the numbers 1 through 7, if you understand the 7 C's of biblical history, you'll understand the entire concept of the Creation Museum. So the first C is creation. All right, you're gonna walk through that part of the museum, and you see exhibits that show you what it's like to live in the unfallen creation.
Have mercy.
Wow.
Second is corruption. Can anyone guess what that would refer to?
The,
Yes, the fall.
The
Yes,
fall.
sin,
Right,
corruption.
right.
Catastrophe. What would that refer to?
Oh, that's the flood.
Yes, the flood. Confusion.
Babylon.
Babel, yes. Christ.
Oh,
First
right.
or second coming.
First coming.
Cross.
Crucifixion.
Consummation.
Second coming.
Second coming. Right? 7 C's of history. Hint. At dinner, when we meet back at the hotel, There will be trivia for
Oh.
videos and books and other prizes. So, fair warning ahead of time, when you go to the Creation Museum, you're going to want to study and read and make sure that you understand some of these things. Hint, hint. All right, exhibits. Natural selection is not evolution. This is an example of how we will look at fossils. We'll look at what the creation scientists say and what the secularists say. We'll look at the evidence and you make your decision.
Yeah.
Is evolution true or not? I'm going to say a resounding no. Can we prove it?
Yes.
Hey, Dinosaur Den, one of my favorite areas, and one of the kids love this. You can go and read about all the different types of dinosaurs, life size, gives you some history on them, and it tells you where some of their bones were found. And, just a really great, this is just one section of that area. They were revamping it this past summer when we went, so we didn't get a chance to go there. By the time we get there, this will be completely revamped and expanded. All right, a remarkable skull. This thing on the right, a true dinosaur skull with all 53 teeth was found in Colorado.
Wow.
Right? And then it's on display in the Creation Museum, and 97% of the skull was found.
Wow.
So we know the dinosaurs existed. It's just a matter of, were they millions of years before man was created, or man came on the scene? Or is it as God said, God made man and all the land animals on day 6? If that is true, then Adam and Eve
Lived with
walked
them.
with them and they were tamed. Right? So dinosaurs in the Bible, we're going to get into that. Where are they in the Bible, and what are some of the evidences for this? Now, throughout the Creation Museum, what you're going to find exhibits, you're going to find different things you can read, but all throughout the museum, you guys are going to find video like screens with short 2 to 3 minute videos all over there that are going to help you to learn more about this. This is why I say you can't get through that in one day. You can't. Right? Yes.
Oh, the dinosaurs were vegetarians.
All animals were vegetarians.
Yeah.
From fall.
Yeah.
Before
yeah.
the fall.
Before, yeah.
Yes.
And about the petting animals thing, I saw a horse in that 3-minute video. You get to pet the horses?
Yes, you
Do
do.
you get to ride them?
I know you can ride the camel. I'm sure that there may be a pony ride, but we can check that out for you. I know for sure there's a camel ride. And I know that you can pet all the animals. You go in there, you can feed the animals. It's very, very nice area to do all that. Yes, you're gonna love it. See that smile?
I was riding an animal.
You ride it. Okay, so Noah's Ark construction site. Now, before the building of the actual ark, there was a replica of how Noah may have built the ark. So these are animatronics down there talking and working on the actual ark. And it's probably like 1/100th or 1/50th of the scale. But it gave us an idea of what the project was going to be like.
Right.
So it was really good to see that, and then you get to hear some of the conversation of the animatronics as you're walking through and seeing them build on the ark. Okay, so some of the questions that will be answered there. One, why is there predation? Why do animals hunt and kill each other? What are some of the reasons that could be? We're going to find out when we go.
Right.
The Great Flood, the earth breaks apart. This was actually a video. And I wanted to show you, I didn't get the actual, well, I actually do have the video, I'm not going to show it to you because it'll ruin it. But it shows how magma will have come up under the crust of the earth and made the great deep break. So explosions in the earth that split
Yes.
the earth while the rain was coming down.
Yes.
So they explain that through plate tectonics.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what caused the continents to shift, right?
Yes.
Right.
Because it's just, so it radically changed the entire earth. The flood was a catastrophic event
Yeah.
that many scientists believe totally took the earth some degrees off its axis.
Yes.
It explains a lot of the radical climate changes that
Yeah.
took place, the ice ages that took place. There was more than one. All right, here's another section of the video where it shows the water overtaking the earth when the continents were split. Very dramatic video, very impactful when people were gathering around. I saw many times people who were self-proclaimed atheists and people who didn't believe the Bible's account stopping this exhibit. And there's another one in Babel that had people just glued, you know, things that they never considered. Matter of fact, I'll tell you the story. It was interesting. There were some people who were protesting the Ark Encounter, and they were part of an atheist group. And they were out there, you know, being rude and saying, hey, this thing ought to be shut down, you're teaching lies, etc. So what did Ken Ham do? He goes out there and he says, hey guys, you probably haven't had the opportunity to come in. I'd like for you all to come in for free. You don't have to pay. If anyone who would like to come on in with us. Now, you know, all of them came.
Oh,
All of them came. Now, there were some who were trying to be little wise guys.
sure.
They came. Now, once he gave them a tour, I have a videotape of some of the tour. Once he took them on the tour,
How many
and
conversions?
they started asking their questions about, oh, well, how did all the animal species fit on the ark? We're going to get into that in a minute. And they started answering the questions and taking them through the science. There were, probably out of like 6 or 7 of them, 3 or 4 stayed later said, I didn't know that.
Conversions.
I didn't know that. I never realized that. So they started thinking,
Yes.
and they started getting past their bias
Yes.
and really looking at the evidence. And what you learn in apologetics is this. Once you start defending the faith and learning the techniques, what you find is that many objections to Christianity
Yes.
have nothing to do with logic. They have everything to do with the individual's love of cherished sin. And
Okay.
they know that if they accept the biblical account, they have to
Give up.
that sin.
Yes.
That's the real reason
Yep.
most people don't want to accept this.
Yes.
Right. So we'll go on. After the flood, we'll see how did the world change? What happened to the flow of the waters with an increase, not with oceans now, before there weren't oceans. Now with oceans, the moisture in the air, how did that affect climate? How did the changes in the earth affect organisms?
Yeah.
There were plant species that died out. There
Yeah.
were certain animal species that died out over time.
Yes.
The whole earth was changed. So how did the animal kingdom change? Some animals grew larger.
Yes.
They had a certain amount. Some animals got smaller
Yes.
and died out. So things that you